Hi guys, and welcome back to my third video in my three-part series that I have been doing, and this video is going to be talking all about how to become an RDA EF2, and that would be a registered dental assistant in extended functions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience, how I did going through school, how I liked it, all that kind of jazz, you know, what it all entails. And then I'm also I wrote down a little bit of stuff talking about some of the programs. I'm not exactly sure if they're all programs or if like some of them are just like people that you contact to get a hold of. It was just on the Dental Board of California website. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So basically, in order to become an EF2, it's really simple. All you have to do is become an RDA, and as soon as you get your RDA license, you can apply for the EF2 program. So you don't have to wait at all. You don't have to have your RDA for a certain amount of time. You can get your RDA, and the moment you get it, you can apply for the EF2 program. This is basically how I did it. I got my RDA license in October, and then I believe I signed up for the EF2 program in November or December, somewhere right in there. And yeah, I had asked my instructor at the time. I was like concerned that I didn't have enough experience as an RDA, and she actually said that it's really good for people who are new RDA licensed or new RDAs to come right into the program, because she just said that you pick up more and you learn a little bit faster and you can apply it right away in your job. So that was a plus. I mean, of course, if you've had your RDA, there was people in my class that were, you know, in their 40s or 50s, and there's no age limit. You can do it, you know, at whatever age, and as long as you're ready to learn, I'm pretty sure most everybody will do just fine. So I did look up on the Dental Board of California. It looks like there was 11 programs in the state of California. So that's the thing about this EF2 license, is it's only in the state of California right now. I have heard rumors that they were trying to get it in other states. Now, I do believe that my instructor had told us that if you do get your EF2 license in California, you can use it in a couple of the surrounding states. I think Oregon and Washington and maybe Nevada. If you contacted the dental board for those states and you show proof that you have your EF2 license, sometimes you can use it. Now, the other issue would be for you to be able to find a job and get paid the amount that you get paid for an EF2 in California as you would be in another state. I don't really know how that goes, but it looks like there was 11 programs, or 11 people that you can contact at least to get into the programs. There is one in Los Angeles. It looks like there was 2 in Tustin, 1 or 2 in Sacramento, 1 in San Francisco, 1 in Loma Linda, another one in Cerritos. I'm not exactly sure how to say that, but another one in San Diego, Bakersfield, and Cupertino. So some of these, I don't know if they maybe are combined because they were in the same area, so I'm not exactly sure. I know for sure when I did my EF2, which was not last year, the year before, so 2 years ago, I didn't know that there was 11. I thought that there was only like 6 or 7, but it could be more now. But that's what I read on the Dental Board of California. So basically what you do to apply for your EF2 is you go onto the dental board. They will have all of the board certified courses, like the ones that I just listed for you, in like a PDF file, and all of their contact information is on there, so you can get a hold of them and you can get the application process going as far as through them. Sorry, my cat is making noise again. So you get a hold of whichever program you decide to go to and you get a hold of the people who are in charge, they will give you kind of like a rundown of what is entailed, and usually they have a website that shows you how long the course is, what the days are, and how much the fee will be. And then you have to you sign up with the application, and then you have to set up payment arrangements. So EF2 school is not cheap by any means. I'm gonna throw it out there, and because it's not not every single state has this license. It's only in state of California, so you cannot get a student loan for it. You can only get like a personal loan or basically save up your money. Unfortunately, that was the hardest part about it. So when I took the course 2 years ago, it was roughly $30,000 for the tuition to go to school. And then I did my program, because I went through Sacramento, which is the J Productions. Joan Greenfield is the instructor and the program like designer and head and everything. And she offers you, I believe it's 4 or 5 installment payment plans. So that includes, for us, we got a book, a patient assessment tutorial book. We got we got an entire packet, and she printed out everything, all of our program like outlines and everything for us in there. We also got our instruments, and I believe it also paid for the typodonts and you know, all the materials that they have there for you so you can practice. So once you get all your installment fee put together, or if you pay it all down, then you just start the program. So for my program, it was, I believe I started in February and we graduated in October. That was 8 months. And then after that, we took our test after you graduated. So it's a part-time program, so that's why it takes so long. You actually, for us, we went a total of 30 days. So it was a 30-day program, but because we split it up, because they do it on the weekends for you, so you can continue working and then you can also go to school at the same time, which can be really difficult, especially if you're working full-time. But I know plenty of people who were working full-time and had families, had kids, and other responsibilities, and they made it happen. If you want to do it, and you know it's something that you are ready to do, you will make it happen. I've seen so many people overcome so much to do this program, and it's really awesome that they let you do it on the weekends so that you can continue to work and do it on the side. Now, I will say it's super overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. It was really, really tough, and I only worked part-time. I worked 3.5 days, almost four full days, but with only doing that and then going to school on the weekends, which by the way, it's only every other weekend, so it's only 2 weekends a month usually, but it was really, really stressful, but it was well worth it. And I'll tell you why it was stressful, because not only are you going to work, but then you're also doing the classes on the weekends, but in between that, my program gives you homework, which is totally understandable, because the only way that you're going to get good at something is by doing it a lot. And so for the homework, they really, really gave us a lot of homework, which I think personally is the reason why we all passed. And that's another thing with the Sacramento program that Joan puts on. It has, I believe, like a 99 or 98% passing rate. So it's got the highest passing rates in California right now. And I truly believe the reason why is because you get homework. I know that for sure, well, I mean, at least 2 years ago, San Francisco was not giving homework out, and I'm not trying to knock any of the other programs. I think they're all good. I definitely think that anybody can do any of the programs and you can get by. I've known plenty of people who have done the San Francisco program and they pass just fine too. But I just think you get that added extra, effort for the amount of money that you're putting into the program. You definitely get a lot from, the Sacramento program that I went to. That's just from my experience. So some of the other programs are a little bit longer, and then some of them are a little bit shorter. So it just depends on how many weekends they put together for you. So yeah, that is something that you'd have to look up. I believe usually on their websites they have roughly how long it takes you to do it. So after you finish the program, then for us, we graduated. I don't know if everyone else graduates, but it's just like a silly certificate that says that we finished the program. Then they usually set up all of the testing for you. So I believe we did send in stuff to the Dental Board of California, but honestly, Joan took care of everything, so I don't even really remember what we sent in. I know you have to send in your RDA license and your sealant certificate and, just your normal, CPR, fingerprints, and, background check, that kind of stuff. But you just send in that stuff, and then they set up a test for you. In our case, we took our test in Sacramento. They did bring proctors out to Sacramento where we had been doing our course, and they did our test there. In San Francisco, you take your test there at the university, and I'm not exactly sure. I believe in Los Angeles, you take it there at the university as well. And for the other ones, I'm not exactly sure if you go to some of the university sites. I think that some of them you do. And then if you don't pass your first time, then you have to find another location that's going to be doing another test. And I believe they only do, if I'm correct, 2 to 3 tests for the EF2 a year. So it's really hard to get in for the tests. Not hard to get in, but if you fail, you have to wait usually a little bit longer period than you would for your RDA exam, because for the RDA, they do them, I think, every couple of months. So they do more definitely there for the RDA than they do for the EF2. So yeah, so that's pretty much what you do for the EF2 course. I definitely think it was really awesome that we had these programs put together. We had all of our, like I said, our requirements that we had to learn, and all of our lessons were printed out, and some diagrams and everything that we can do as far as it goes for EF2 licensing. And then it just kind of had all of our teachers' names, how to get a hold of them, and our schedule for, what weekends we were going to be there. And that's pretty much it. I had printed out, a bunch of other stuff. I made flashcards to study for my tests, and yeah, I passed the first time, so that was awesome. So you do have 3 tests for the EF2 course, I know for sure, that you have to take. So you take there is a written exam, which is just kind of like the RDA exam, but instead of, answering questions about the RDA, you're answering questions about the EF2 license. And then there is 2 tests that you take for the practical exam, which one test is on a typodont and you're doing 2 fillings. So for us, we did the number 6 tooth, and it wrapped around, and it was in the flossing contact. So you had to make sure that you had a nice composite, and you had to make sure it had no flash, that kind of stuff, and make sure your flossing contact was there and all that good stuff. And then you also had to do an amalgam on a molar in the back, which I believe for us we did number 18 or 19, and we did an MOD. No, I think it was just a DO. But everybody gets a little bit different. Sometimes you get a different molar, or you get an MOD versus a DO or an MO, that types of stuff. Same thing with that. You have to make sure you don't have any flash, and your margins are smooth, and you have your flossing contact. So that's the second test that you do, and then the third practical exam you do, you have to have a live patient. And for this, thank God my brother came with me. I forever am so thankful that my brother did this for me. So basically what you have to do for your third test is you bring your patient with you. First of all, you have to get your patient to need a crown. And then you have to bring them to your dental office, and you have to get your dentist to prepare a crown for you, and then you have to cement a temporary crown for them. And then they come with you to your test, and you take a test. You take off their temporary crown, you pack impression cord, and you get graded on your impression cord. And then you take a impression of the tooth, the crown that you made, and you have to have the impression of all the margins and all of that good stuff in there. And then you have to turn in your impression, and then they grade your impression as well. So there's two parts to that test technically, just like there's two parts of the other test. So you're really, I feel like technically you take like 5 tests, but yeah, so it's definitely a lot of pressure. You have to have your dentist there with you when you bring your patient, or you have to get somebody who you know who their dentist is there, who is willing to give anesthetic to your patient, so that way they're numb. And yeah, so it was definitely a lot of fun. Like I said, thank goodness that my brother came with me, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without him, and he made it so easy for me and stress-free. And I definitely recommend for bringing a patient, bring somebody that you're comfortable with, but you know that is going to get the job done and isn't going to be complaining or has problems with getting numb, because they're there for a long time. And thank goodness my brother was just very chill, and he was along for the ride. And unfortunately, the numbness did wear off on him a couple of times, so we did have to have the dentist come back in and give him more anesthetic, which I felt so bad. But he was just like, just get it done. I know you're doing your test and you're timed. Like, for sure, I, like, always am very thankful for that. So that is my recommendation for that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the EF2 part of this series. I may have left a little bit of information out. This is a pretty lengthy type of discussion, so like I said, I might have left out some details in some of the videos. I tried to get through them as fast as I could without skipping over too much, so if you feel like I missed out, or if you have any questions, for sure you can leave me some questions in the comment section below, and I would definitely get back to you on those. Or if anybody, you know, has questions regarding my job and that kind of stuff, I would definitely be interested in doing another video to answer some of those. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and I'll see you guys in my next videos. Bye guys!